Man approaches hurt animal, jumps back when it turns. Jordan couldn't tell what the sound was. It pierced the night air, making the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. The rest of James's day melted away as he tried to follow the sound. It was terrifying yet drew him closer at the same time. He was just outside the boundary wall when he noticed something stir in the shadows. As it turned towards him, he jumped back and ran away on instinct. Another howl rang out, and he suddenly realized what he had seen and knew he had to go back. Jordan's heart raced as he stopped and headed back toward the creature. He could not believe he was contemplating this, but the last howl brought some clarity back to his mind. He somehow recognized it. Something of the creature's original form was still there, fighting to get out. They were howls of anguish. If his instincts were right, he needed to help it but would have to get close to do so. Jordan slowed down to a creeping movement as he neared the spot again. There was a rustling of twigs nearby. The animal's moans were down to a light yelping now. As he got closer, Jordan felt nervous. He wasn't exactly sure what to expect. The only glimpse he had received of it had left him unable to fully comprehend what he had even seen. As Jordan reached the animal, he gasped when he realized the full extent of what he was seeing. He looked around, unable to determine how it had come to be this way. He felt bewildered and wondered how this could have happened. It stared up at him, and he knew he had to help somehow. He tried his phone again, hoping it wasn't too late as he thought about his day. Jordan Ramsey of Orange County hadn't been having a good day. It started when a work project hit some unexpected snags, and he was forced to spend an extra 4 hours at the office with his team. If that hadn't been hard enough, he encountered car trouble along the road when he finally did leave. It wasn't long before Jordan realized he was stranded. His wife Millie had already been angry at him. They had only moved out to Orlando the month before. It was the third time that week he had to work late. Then, as he left the office, there had been an accident along his usual route. He'd gotten lost by Jordan taking a detour and only then realized his grave mistake. Jordan was on a dark, unfamiliar road when his car began sputtering and then inexplicably died in the middle of the road. When he noticed his phone had no signal. That was how Jordan ended up walking along a dark road in the middle of the night. He had just come across a dirt road with lights in the distance when he heard the weird sounds that changed his entire night. His first sight of the strange animal scared him. In the darkness, it appeared frightening and grotesque at first. Now he was grateful that he had come back. There were houses nearby, and it had been found in a grassy area just outside someone's yard. He called and called for help, but no one came. Only when he came back to investigate did he see the animal in a bit of light for the first time. It wasn't some kind of weird monster that had jumped out of the shadows. It was just injured and badly in need of help. Jordan checked his phone desperately, holding it up at different angles. Finally, with a jolt of excitement, it finally managed to gain a weak signal. Jordan managed to call the local authorities. They put him in touch with animal services and told him to sit tight. In the darkness around them, Jordan sat cradling the poor animal's head on his lap. Listening to its cries and yelps of pain was heartbreaking, but help was finally on its way. When help arrived, the people from Orange County Animal Services were as shocked as him when they saw the animal. They thanked Jordan for his kindness in staying behind to help it. According to them, if he hadn't called, it might not have survived the night. After explaining his situation, they helped him arrange a tow truck for his vehicle. He felt deeply connected to the animal now and invested in its fate. With their help, Jordan finally got some answers about what had happened to it. Far from a scary monster, the frightening-looking animal Jordan Ramsey encountered that night was just a dog. She was a pit bull, badly emaciated, and suffering from such severe injuries that half her face was missing. The injuries had made her seem like some kind of freakish animal. In reality, she was just a victim of terrible abuse. According to Animal Services, this kind of thing was sadly all too common. With the help of an animal rescue foundation and many generous people who heard the story and helped with donations, there was now hope. The sweet dog was named Khaleesi, and a plan was put together to help her. Khaleesi was in dire need of facial reconstruction surgery and medical attention. The extent of the abuse she had suffered over time was heartbreaking. If Jordan had not come across her that night, she would surely not have survived. Due to the severe nature of Khaleesi's injuries, she could not walk properly. The damage to her jaws and face, aside from giving her a bizarre appearance, impacted her ability to eat and breathe. Luckily, with the help of all the people involved, and a lot of time and love, her prognosis is good. She will, however, require many months of surgery and care to get there. Given her dire situation when she was found, Khaleesi's story has a silver lining. Not only was she found in time and placed with the right people to help her, but there is also a long-term plan for her future. The organization, Passion for Pit's Rescue, is hopeful that she will be eligible for adoption once she is fully recovered. In time, Khaleesi will have a forever home with a loving family and finally be given the care and love she deserves.